Hello, friends. Today we're going to be talking about emotional maturity. Stick around. Hi, friends. This is Bethany Jennings, and you're listening to We Should Talk. It's a podcast where we talk about anything and everything to encourage, equip, and empower you to be a decent human. Let's talk. Hello and welcome back. I am sitting in my car right now outside of Kroger grocery store on the seawall in Galveston, Texas, recording this. It has been a week, and honestly, I feel like maybe I could have recorded this before now, but also, why? Here I am doing it now. So this is who I am. Like me or not, here we are. I am in Galveston because tomorrow, me and David and Onyx and Silas and my mother and my father are getting on Voyager of the Seas Royal Caribbean cruise to participate in the Apostolics at Sea situation. And let me tell you, I'm kind of excited about it. Never been a part of anything like this ever in my whole life, but I like cruising. And I like worshiping, so what could possibly go wrong? There's going to be a lot of apostolics on there, and it'd be really cool if we just shared the gospel and the love of Christ and showed everyone what a true Pentecostal experience with apostolic doctrine looks like. And some people found Jesus on vacation. How cool would that be? Anyway, so that's where I'm at, and that's what I'm doing. I don't know how that's going to go. Maybe I'll update you guys next week. We'll see. Like, I'm slightly nervous. Like, I'm not doing much. I'm just singing with David occasionally. David's really doing all the work, truth be told. I just get to come and bring our voice. But I'm singing some. So I'm just a little nervous about all the peopling because, it can be a lot sometimes. But it's a big boat. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. I don't know. I'm just a little nervous. We'll see what happens. Anyways, I'll update you guys on that part next week. But as mentioned in our opening statements, we're going to be talking about emotional maturity. What are we talking about? Emotional maturity. We're back. I can talk again. Everyone likes to say, "You're so immature." I feel like everyone said that in middle school, possibly high school. But there really is something to be said about maturity and immaturity and what that looks like. And you can't really be a quote-unquote mature person without being emotionally mature. I don't know if there is no maturity outside of that. I wouldn't think. I mean, like, you can physically grow, your hormones can shift, and you can, go through puberty or whatever, and I guess that's maturity in some sense. But you're not a mature, emotionally realized person unless these things are being demonstrated. There are 7 specific things I'm going to talk about today. And I'm just going to say it. They're not going to be cute, little catchy things. I'm just going to say it, and then we're going to talk about it for a second. So, Onyx and Silas are also in the car with me. Silas is, let me check the baby monitor. Silas is sleeping big time. Oh, all the jaws and the double chin. He's sleeping. Onyx is just chilling in the back seat. In his car seat. Okay. What does emotional maturity look like? What is it? Emotional maturity is taking responsibility for your actions. So, that is saying it's not the person in front of me going 5 miles under the speed limit that's making me late to work. It's my lack of self-discipline in getting up at the right time. Right? Or it's not this barista's fault for getting my coffee wrong. It's my fault for not communicating what I needed or being in a hurry and not putting in the right information in the pre-order app. See what I mean? It's also not blaming the other person for being hurt when you said something hurtful. It's not blaming the preacher for getting on your case when you presented a case to be gotten on. Right? Don't get mad at the preacher for preaching against sin. Be mad at yourself for sinning. Bless you, Onyx. So taking responsibility for your actions. Another one, accepting reality, not denying it and not distorting it. Not saying, well, I know he can seem a little mean, but really he's not that mean. Don't distort it. Don't deny it. Well, I know she can seem a little, bossy. But I mean, she's a good girl. She's a good girl. If you have to convince someone, it's probably not true. On some level, it's probably not true. Accepting the reality of your financial situation, accepting the reality of your romantic relationship, accepting the reality of your parents' health issues, accepting the reality of your lack of discipline, accepting the reality of a lot of things, not distorting it and not denying it. That is emotional maturity. And after you've taken responsibility for your actions and you accept responsibility, then you can learn from your past mistakes. You don't learn from mistakes until you're willing to admit you've made one. You cannot learn from a mistake that you refuse to admit you made. That simple. And you're going to keep repeating that mistake if you don't learn from it. Emotional maturity is not never making mistakes. Emotional maturity is owning up to the mistakes you've made and fixing it in the future. See what I say? Smelling what I'm stepping in? I always told my kids when I was teaching, I used to teach special education. I was certified SPED teacher for early childhood through 12th, but I taught academics I taught math first through third, but I did behavioral intervention for early childhood through 5th. Anyways, any kids that I worked with, we had a saying: if you mess up, you fess up. If you lie to me, your consequence immediately doubles. If you tell me the truth, your consequence immediately gets cut in half. So if you mess up, you fess up, you do better the next time. Emotional maturity looks like frequently doing emotional work and self-reflecting. Admitting that you have emotions and working on them. Actually putting in the work. That's emotional maturity. Doing introspection and not just blaming other people for what's going on around you. Speaking of emotions, emotional maturity also looks like the ability to regulate emotions rather than have impulsive reactions. Right? So someone makes you mad. Do you punch them? No, not unless you just like going to jail. You need to be able to regulate your emotions. I'm working with Onyx on this. I'm trying to teach Onyx how to regulate his emotions, and I am finding that a lot of my emotions are difficult to regulate. Our kids trigger the very things that we struggle with the most. So when I am about to lose my mind, it's saying more about me than it is about Onyx. Because why is it that what he's doing is bothering me so much? Why is it that him making my house a mess is affecting me emotionally? Why is it that him being inconsolable and just crying and screaming, why is that making me so antsy and anxious? Like, why? Obviously there's going to be some reaction as a mother. Yes, you can get frustrated. Yes, all those things. But why is it bothering me that I don't feel in control? Right? So, just like we teach toddlers to regulate their emotions, we're going to have to learn to regulate our emotions. If you think about it, our tantrums don't go away. They just change form. If you don't learn to regulate your emotions, on the inside, you're still just a toddler throwing a tantrum. You get mad, you punch a wall. That's an adult tantrum. You get mad and you slam the door and stomp off. That's an adult tantrum. You get mad at somebody in traffic and you blare the horn and you speed past them and you're yelling out the window. That's an adult tantrum. You go tell somebody off. That's an adult tantrum. Regulate your emotions and you will not feel the need to impulsively react. Okay, brief intermission. David just got back to the car from getting me some coffee and some milk for the boys and sweets for the room. Anyways, David just told me this.
I said, I see behind me with my ears.
And I said, do what now? Do you care to explain? And he said, yes, I do care to explain.
So what that means is I use my hearing to know like what's behind me or what's around me. Because of course, you know, I can't see behind myself. But if I hear something back there, then I think it helps my brain to kind of realize like where I am, what's actually happening, all that other stuff. So if I can't hear, then I also feel like my peripheral vision isn't as good because I feel like.
Is that why we turn the radio down to see the street signs?
No. What do you? Well, you know what that could be. That actually very well could be
like
why that happens.
If our senses are experiencing too much all at once, we have to cancel out one of the stimuli.
Yeah.
Or you can use your senses to enhance a stimuli.
Yeah. So you can see better when you hear better. I feel
like that's true.
Like it all kind of goes together.
And I can hear what someone's saying when I see their mouth.
Of course, yeah, you can read lips and whatever else.
You don't even realize you're doing it, but you're doing it.
My biggest deal is like, you ain't gonna creep up on me and me not know about it.
I can't.
So
I've tried. I can't startling.
Yeah, it doesn't
I startle
matter,
super easy. David doesn't.
It doesn't matter where you're coming from. Like if I hear anything in that direction, even if it's like way back behind me or something, I'm already basically looking or whatever in that direction. So
gotcha.
So yeah, it kind of happened to me in the store, and then I realized, you know what?
I don't know who was trying to sneak up on you in the store.
No, nobody was really trying to sneak up on me in the store, but it was just one of those.
Down in Galveston.
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
So basically, David's ears give him lizard eyes. He can see all things through his ears.
Yeah, basically.
Well, now we know. Anyways, I want to see if I can wrap this up. Ability to regulate emotions. Yeah, so if you learn to regulate your emotions, we're back to the emotional maturity talk. If you learn to regulate your emotions, then you won't react so impulsively. The next thing that demonstrates emotional maturity is being able to resolve conflicts instead of ignoring them. You would think like, oh, I'm emotional mature. I don't have to deal with that. I'm emotional mature. I don't feel the need to go talk to that person. I'll just let them do their thing. I'll do mine. That's not emotional maturity. Emotional maturity is you can resolve a conflict without major dramatic confrontation and not act like it doesn't exist. Because you keep sweeping stuff under the rug and the rug's going to get real lumpy and everything's going to be a mess. I need to put my seatbelt on. Another example of emotional maturity is having empathy, sensitivity, and caring for the well-being and safety of others around you, and not just being selfish and self-centered, basically. Emotional maturity looks like you being less selfish. So, if you are doing these things, good for you. Super proud of you. If you're not doing these things, we'll just work on it. Work on being a better person. If you are around people who are not demonstrating these emotional maturity indicators, find better friends or help them work on it a little bit in a nice way. So take responsibility for your actions. Accept reality. Don't deny it. Don't distort it. Learn from your past mistakes. Admit you made a mistake, and then you can learn from it. Frequently do some emotional check-ins with yourself, some introspection. Regulate your emotions. Don't just react impulsively. Resolve conflicts. Don't ignore them, and show some empathy towards other people. All right, friends, that's going to be it for this week's episode. I know it was quick. I'll check in next week and let you know how this cruise situation worked out. Bye. Well, that was fun. I'm glad you stuck around for the whole thing. And thank you for talking to me today. Y'all go like and follow and review and do all the podcast things that people do. And don't forget to be a good human.